I made a huge mistake a few years ago when I hosted a low ticket workshop that had a lot of steps that people had to take on their own to make it to the actual workshop. There were so many things they had to do, so many hoops they had to jump through that many people fell off. In fact, 60 to 70% of the people who bought a ticket to the workshop had to email me some kind of customer support ticket because they were stuck and having problems accessing what they had just purchased. So I knew I had to fix that if I was ever going to grow my business because I'm a lean, laid back, one person business, and I've got no time for a lot of email support. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 simple automations that reduced my customer email support from 60 to 70% of buyers to pretty much close to zero. So here's the flow of how the whole thing worked. I made a sales page inside of Samcart. People could buy the order bump or not. That didn't really affect the flow. But what they were buying was a ticket to a workshop that was happening over the course of 5 days. And so they had to do a couple of things. Number one, the content was hosted also in Samcart. And that was problem number one. People weren't making it inside of Samcart to be able to make the most of the workshop. Problem number two is the community was happening inside of a Skool group. That was problem number two. They weren't always making it to the Skool group. And problem number three, the big bulk of my problems and customer support tickets were that people weren't able to access the calendar. So when I was going live, right before I'd go live, everybody was freaking out because they didn't have the Zoom link and they couldn't find it. And that meant I had a ton of customer support issues. So I had to fix it. And I made a couple of improvements. I'll walk you through those next. And the next time I hosted this same event, I had more people. I had 20% more customers, but I had 90% less support tickets. And I was able to scale and do my thing and host my workshop without getting bogged down in the tech support. Here's what I did. The first problem I fixed was making sure that everybody that bought a ticket was able to add the events to their calendar. So I use an app called Add Event, ADD Event, and I set up one event link that they just had to register for. And when they registered for that one event link, then they would automatically have all of the sessions added to their calendar so they wouldn't miss anything. And there were 2 places that I put this inside of Samcart. That's my sales system of choice. If you use something different, then they might still have something like this, but here's the 2 places I added the calendar link to make sure more people were able to automatically add all of the talks to their calendar. So the first place is inside of the order receipt. A lot of people overlook this, but inside of Samcart and probably in the system you use, it's going to send some type of receipt to people that buy your workshop. And I didn't use this for years. I just used the default and it would send them, your order ID and order receipt for order number and all that stuff. It was very formal. So I changed it and I customized it. This was for a recent event I hosted called the Upgrade My Offer Bootcamp. And I left the order number in there if they wanted it. I don't know why they would need it. But I customized this and said, hey, first name, congrats on grabbing your ticket to the Upgrade My Offer Bootcamp. It's going to be great. More details will be emailed to you momentarily. But for now, click here to add all sessions to your calendar. And that was a link to the Add Event calendar that they would just have with one click. They can add all the events to the calendar and not miss anything. That was place number one that I fixed this. Here's the second place. Inside of Samcart, you get a link that's provided as a digital file link. And I did the same thing. I gave them the same Add Event calendar link. So on their purchase confirmation and their emails they're going to get from Samcart, they were able to click to add all the events to their calendar right there. It showed up as a little button inside of the purchase confirmation and on the thank you page when it summarizes their order. You can modify the text. So I changed the text to say, subscribe to calendar. And this was going to fix the first problem of people not knowing where the Zoom links were. And as a creator, I want people to show up to my thing. I want to really increase show up rate as high as possible. And of course, decrease as many customer service requests as I can. So these are the 2 ways that I got a bunch of people onto the calendar. I put this link everywhere. I put this link in the confirmation emails. I'll show you here in a second. I put it everywhere. It's hard to miss the idea that your only move you needed to do next was add the event to your calendar. And here's what that looked like. When they clicked that link, this is what they got to see. Upgrade My Offer Bootcamp general session. I also had a VIP session that had a separate add event link, but this is in the past, but it said it occurs daily starting from September 22nd, 3 times. When they click this one link, it'll add all of the Zoom links to their calendar and it'll mark it as busy. So they'll get it on their calendar. This was tremendous and solved my first problem. With my calendar problem solved, I wanted to increase the odds that the people would actually end up in the course. Now, maybe your system works a bit differently, but when somebody buys a product from Samcart and the course is also hosted in Samcart, you have to add them to the course. It's one more step. It's almost like buying the product gives them permission to enroll in the course, but then they actually have to go enroll in the course. This was a big problem for me. I had to get this fixed, and here's how I went about doing that. So once somebody bought the product in Samcart, I automatically applied a tag inside of ConvertKit, which automatically started an automation. So the tag name was purchased dash upgrade my offer bootcamp, parentheses, general, close parentheses. That was the name of the tag. It was automatically applied. When that tag was applied, it automatically kicked off this automation. And so here's what happened. In the first email, I wanted to confirm that they just registered for the Upgrade My Offer Bootcamp. You're officially in. Here's the sessions. And you need to add the sessions to your calendar here. It's the same link as before. I didn't hide the link. I didn't make it a button. They can see they're clicking addevent.com. And I wanted them to be able to really understand what they were doing. And I gave them a few other notes. Just general stuff. You probably have something like this when somebody buys a ticket to an event that you have happening in the future. But here's the second thing I did. I went and I bought my product. Why would I do that? Well, I wanted to test the checkout page, but I also wanted to see what the email confirmation looked like from Samcart when I purchased the product, grabbed a little screenshot, and I dropped it into email number 2. So I waited an hour, and it says action required for first name. I have their first name because they just bought a product in Samcart. So that's a good subject line. This got a bunch of opens here. So it says, hey, first name, 2 things. First, I want to double check that you were able to log into the course area. Upon checking out, you got an email from Samcart that looked like this. This is just a picture, order receipt from order blank. And then it says log in to the bootcamp course. And I just edited it in the normal image editor on my MacBook and added some hot pink arrows. They now need to go click log in to the bootcamp course. So they buy the product, get the confirmation email, add the event to the calendar. An hour goes by. In case they haven't noticed it yet, they need to go enroll in the course or they're going to miss something important. And so I gave them a screenshot with some hot pink arrows that said, your job's not done yet. You've got one more thing to do. You need to go log into the course. And the strategy, if you're wondering, why do I have them do this in Samcart? This is a gated product. They had to buy it. I wasn't giving it away. So I needed a login and a password that they could go to access the thing that they bought, if that makes sense. So the content happened in my course. The community happened in Skool, but there's a lot of people in Skool that haven't bought the course, and it'd be unfair to the people that bought the course to drop all the content in a Skool group. Does that make sense? It's a whole thing. So this is what I did. If your course or wherever you're hosting your gated content needs an additional step, then do an email like this. Wait an hour, or maybe wait just 30 minutes or something like that. And don't overwhelm them and say, hey, there's one more thing you need to do. This was the second thing I did that plummeted my percentage of people who were buying the workshop ticket, but still had a question. The third and final problem I wanted to fix was I wanted to give people access to the Skool group. If you've used something like Skool or even a Facebook group, you know that they have to request access to the group and you have to grant them access to the group. I don't want to just open it up and make it a free for all and everybody can access the group. So I had them request to join the group and I had to go approve those things. But then sometimes people would need to access a piece of content. Like let's say in my case, they upgraded to VIP. Well, the VIP was hosted in a different area of the Skool group. If you go to the classroom, there was a VIP specific product. So I wanted people that purchased the VIP, if you run your business this way, to automatically be added to the Skool group. I didn't want to have to make them manually request to join. And then when they join, I go check my receipts and say, oh, Nancy signed up for the VIP. I've got to go manually unlock the VIP for her. I wanted to make it as seamless as possible, which would decrease my customer service tickets even more. So here's how I went about fixing my third problem. Enter Zapier. I have a saying that Zapier makes you happier. I know you might use something else like make.com or N8N. Those are tools that communicate between two apps that don't natively talk to each other. So unfortunately, Samcart and Skool don't natively integrate, at least not yet. Samcart and ConvertKit do. That's great. Whenever they purchase a product, it automatically applies a tag. No need for Zapier. But right now, Samcart purchase and Skool course access aren't natively connected. And so I use a tool like Zapier. I'm going to give it a shot in here in the Copilot and say Samcart purchase to Skool course. Let's just see if it knows what I'm talking about. If not, we'll go about it the manual way. I think this Copilot thing sounds cool, but it usually takes too long. I know what I need. Samcart's the trigger, Skool is the action. All right, that took about 30 seconds. It looked like it understood what I was trying to say just based on my simple prompt of Samcart purchase to Skool course. Let's go to Zap Editor. Now, I'm not going to cover all the Zapier setup. If you've never used it before, you need to go integrate your apps. Like you need to go connect your Samcart, go connect your Skool, go connect your kid, connect your Facebook ad account, whatever you're going to use to integrate. You got to go set that up. I've already got it set up. And so now I'm just going to be configuring my existing setup. I just figured out I was in the wrong Zapier account. So now I'm in mine. I'm just going to do it automatically. So Zapier, if you don't know, it works with triggers and then actions. So the trigger is that somebody purchases something inside of Samcart. You can just type it up here. It'll pull up any connected apps that you already have. I'm going to tell it what product. Like the trigger is that somebody purchases something. So it's a new order. And the account is my Samcard account. And on the configuration tab, it's going to ask, well, when they buy what? Let's see if I can just find a product. Let's just say somebody buys a VIP intensive day. So you find the product, right? The actual correct product in here. And then it'll want to test it. I usually skip the test part. It loads a dummy account. And now it's testing. So that's the trigger, is when the purchase happens inside of Samcart, then this Zap will wake up and it'll be alerted and it will get going. And then now I want to unlock a Skool course. Now you can do this a couple of ways. There's a couple of events inside of Skool. You can invite a member to a group, or you can unlock a course for a member. Either one works. It depends on how you've got your offer set up. In my case, I wanted to unlock a course for a member inside of a specific Skool group. I'm just going to show you on here. I've got a couple of Skool groups. I think it was technically in the Build with Cody Skool group. So make sure you name your integrations clearly. And you go to the configuration. It's going to ask for the customer email address. What you're going to do is click the plus sign and you're going to grab the email field. I'm not going to do it because it pulled in some customer data and I don't want this video to get taken off of YouTube. So just click the plus sign, select the email field, and that will be the merge field. And then the course, you just choose, well, which course do they get access to? Let's say they get access to VIP List Builder Land. And it's that simple. You hit publish and you run your Zap. Then every time somebody buys the product, this Zap, in my case, would automatically add them to the Skool group on the back end. And it would automatically give them access to their course that they purchased. And that, my friend, is how I automated all of my customer support tickets away. When I identified the bottlenecks in my sales process, when people were checking out what was happening next, were they making it all the way to the finish line? Like imagine I'm a mama duck and I want to make sure my little ducklings make it into the pond safely. I was having several ducks that were wandering off into the wilderness and not going where I wanted them to go. And these 3 simple automations fixed it. To recap, we used the delivery email from Samcart to make sure they had their one action, which was subscribe to the calendar. We used a Zapier to automate the purchase into the Skool group. And I sent a follow-up reminder email with a screenshot about the subject line of the email they just got that they need to go click and enroll into the course. Hope you enjoyed these 3 simple automations, and they can save you a lot of time as well. And hey, if you're wondering, how do I get people on my list anyways, so I can send an email and sell them stuff just like this? I've got a video that's a full complete course on how to automatically add people to your email list. So it runs in the background 24/7. And every time you go send an email, it goes to a few more people than the last time you sent an email. Just click the link to the video that popped up on your screen, and I'll see you there.